Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're pulling out the old maps of Tokyo.
Yeah.
We're heading to Shinonaki in Edogawa Ward.
Mm-hmm.
And our mission isn't just about seeing what's there now. We really want to uncover the stories, maybe find some hidden spots that tell you about a community going back, over 1,000 years.
That's right. And, when you visit Shinonaki today, it does look like, well, any other modern residential bit of Tokyo.
Yeah, pretty standard.
But that's really just the surface. But we're going to dig down a bit, see how this area actually survived, how it went from being this difficult, really waterlogged village
Right.
to a modern suburb.
Yeah.
And crucially, how it managed to hang on to its history, its pretty extraordinary community spirit through all that change.
Okay, let's unpack this. So maybe start with the basics. The name, Shinonaki. It's not just a label, is it? It sounds like it's a clue.
Absolutely. The name itself is like a linguistic fossil. It tells you exactly what the land looked like way back. Shino means narrow bamboo, or reeds, and saki. That refers to a sandbar or maybe a cape, a sort of spit of land sticking out.
So Shinozaki, the sandbar covered in narrow bamboo, literally describing the place.
Exactly. Before all the development, it paints a picture of this narrow, wet area shaped by the Edo River.
And we know this isn't just a guesswork. There are records, right? Mentioning upper and lower Shinozaki way back.
Yeah, really early. Documents from 1398, back in the Muromachi period, already structure the village that way.
Wow. So the landscape's changed massively, but you're saying there are ways to connect with that watery past today.
There are. The community made some, pretty conscious choices. For instance, if you want to sort of walk the ancient footprint of Shinozaki,
Yeah.
you should look for the Shinodobori Shinsui Ryokudo.
Shinodobori Shinsui Rikudo, that's a bit of a mouthful.
It is, but it translates roughly to the Shinodobori water-friendly green road.
Ah, okay. Sounds like a modern park then.
It's a modern park, yeah, finished in 1994. But the important thing is where it was built. It follows an old historic waterway.
So walking there.
Walking there, you kind of get a sense of the old Suiga, the water country landscape that used to define everything around here. You're basically tracing the shape of that old bamboo sandbar.
That's pretty incredible. So the environment didn't just give the town its name, it actually shaped its economy too, I gather, with all that bamboo.
Correct. That natural resource, the bamboo growing everywhere, it sparked a whole cottage industry. Shinozaki Zaru.
Zaru, like strainers, baskets.
Exactly. Local bamboo strainers and baskets. It was, perfect for the rhythm of rural life back then.
How so?
Well, during the late Edo and early Showa periods, it became this really important winter job. Farm work stops, right? So over 200 farm households would switch gears and start weaving these bamboo things.
Ah, turning a local resource into needed income during the off-season. Smart.
It was a real local brand built on skills passed down. But, well, you know the story. Yeah. Mass-produced plastic goods arrived after the war, industrialization took off, and it just killed the demand. The craft of the Shinozaki Zaru almost completely died out.
Wow. Losing not just the income, but the skill itself for hundreds of families?
A huge loss. So the question becomes, how do you remember a craft like that when it's essentially gone?
Right. What do you do?
They chose public space. There's a specific spot that nods to this bamboo history, the take to Chidashimo Hiroba.
Which means?
The Bamboo Interaction Square, something like that.
A public square just for bamboo in Tokyo. That feels unusual.
It is unusual, and that's what makes it significant. It's run by the local government, and its whole purpose is nurturing bamboo, maintaining traditional bamboo fences.
So it's not just decorative planting.
No, it's a symbolic monument. It represents this real effort to keep the memory of that vital historical economy alive, even though the weavers are mostly gone.
That's dedication. So they're remembering the economy. But Shinozaki seems equally defined by its spiritual side, its community strength. Let's talk about the shrine.
Yes, the Shinozaki Sengen Shrine. This place is old.
It's like really old.
Oldest shrine in the entire Edogawa ward. Founded way back in 938 A.D., Tenkai 1 in the Japanese calendar.
938. Wait, that means it was founded during a major conflict, wasn't it, to try and stop it?
Exactly right. Taira no Satomori established it specifically to pray for peace in the Kanto region after the huge Juhei Tenji rebellion. It's literally a 1,000-year-old plea for stability.
Incredible. But the shrine's big story today, the thing people might actually see, is the festival, right? The Nobori Matsuri.
The Giant Banner Festival, yeah.
Yeah.
It's now designated as an intangible folk cultural property, and it's quite a spectacle.
Tell me about it. What makes it special?
Okay, so the ritual involves raising 10 massive banners. When I say massive, I mean over 20 meters tall.
20 meters, that's like a 7-story building.
Pretty much. And they weigh over a ton each.
Whoa. Okay.
And here's the really amazing part. They are raised entirely by human power.
No cranes, no machines.
Nope. Just sheer community effort, ropes, poles, and know-how. It's this incredible display of collective identity and strength.
That's phenomenal. But the timing.
Right.
They brought this specific tradition back in 1980. Why then? Seems significant.
Oh, it's absolutely key when you look at the bigger picture. Shinonaki was right on the verge of this total transformation.
The subway.
The subway line extension arrived in 1986, and that just kicked off this explosion of development, rapid urbanization, huge apartment blocks going up, tons of new people moving in.
So the locals saw this massive change coming, and just 6 years before it hits, they revive this incredibly demanding ancient ritual that binds everyone together.
Precisely. It feels like a very intentional act.
Yeah.
The community is basically saying, okay, the landscape is changing, the faces are changing, but this is who we are.
Wow. Reinforcing their identity right when it was most needed.
Exactly. So you can visit the Shinonaki Sengen Shrine anytime, soak in the history.
Yeah.
But if you plan it right, you can actually witness this staggering event. It happens every year on July 1st.
That determination, that sort of grit, must have been shaped by their relationship with the river too, right? The Edo River.
Absolutely. The river was everything life, transport, identity, but also a constant danger.
You see that duality in the history books.
For sure, it was vital for transport. Think of the Gitoku Bune, the boats carrying salt along the Atsuki Road route, essential trade.
And
But then disaster could strike hundreds of miles away, and the river turns into this, well, this bearer of bad news, grim news even.
you're thinking of the Asama eruption, 1783.
That's the one. Mount Asama erupts catastrophically, and victims' bodies, they flowed down the river systems, eventually reaching the Edo River right near Shinonaki.
Oh, God. That's grim.
It is. But what the local residents did then, it shows this profound humanity. They retrieved the bodies of these total strangers from the water and buried them respectfully.
Wow. At a time with basically no communication or organized aid.
Exactly. And that act of compassion is remembered today. You can go to Zenyoji Temple nearby and see the memorial stone.
The Tenmei Sanan Asamayama Funka Shishimosa Kushi.
That's the one. Memorial stone for the victims of the 1783 Asama eruption. It's a very quiet, very moving reminder of past disasters, but also of local empathy.
And that memory of being vulnerable to the river, it wasn't just ancient history, was it? The Kathleen Typhoon.
1947. Devastating floods. That really pushed forward the modern flood control efforts we see now.
Right. Which brings us to the big infrastructure on the riverbank today. The Edogawa Watergate.
Completed during the war, actually, in 1943. It's a major piece of engineering.
Yeah, I like the description I read. A ship-only elevator. It stands there like this huge guardian controlling the water.
It really does. It symbolizes that human effort to manage the river to gain some control.
So visiting the Watergate, it's like seeing the modern answer to the threat represented by that old memorial stone at Zenyoji.
That's a great way to put it. It's kind of the triumphant chapter in that long fight against the water.
And winning that fight, plus getting the subway in '86, that really let Shinonaki reimagine its riskiest land, didn't it? The low-lying areas near the river.
Totally shifted. What was once flood-prone farmland, kind of marginal, it became prime space for community assets. Recreation took over.
Right, this is where we find things like Shinonaki Ponyland.
Yeah, established way back in '75, right there on the riverbed, free pony rides for kids, still going strong.
And the Edogawa Sportsland, too. That's the local ice rink, right?
The only public one in the district, yeah. Ice rink in winter, huge pool in summer.
So these places aren't just nice amenities. They represent transforming that historical risk into a modern community benefit.
Exactly. It's the final piece of the puzzle, showing how Shinonaki successfully converted that challenging land into something positive. Green spaces, places for fun.
So summing up Shinonaki, you can literally walk the path of an ancient sandbar, feel the echo of lost crafts, see this incredible community power raising giant flags.
Yeah, it shows how they really fought back against, natural threats, economic decline.
Kept their identity. But the story doesn't quite end there, does it? There's one more layer, maybe the most fascinating.
Ah, you mean the Shishimomi Duchi?
Yes. The lion head rubbing ritual of Shinonaki Hongo.
This is where it gets really interesting.
It is, because its roots connect directly to, well, public health crises. We have records of this ritual back in 1858.
Right in the middle of the Ansei no Carrera, the massive cholera epidemic sweeping Japan.
Exactly. So this wasn't just a fun festival
No,
dance.
it was deadly serious. It was a physical prayer, basically, to fight off pestilence.
Yeah.
For health.
That's the core of it. Mubiso Kasai and Akuyaku Taizan praying for freedom from illness and the warding off of evil influences.
And the ritual itself is intense. They carry this huge lion head, what, 60 kilos? A meter tall?
Yeah, wrestling this giant heavy thing. And they shake it vigorously while jumping, continuously jumping on both feet.
And the reason for the jumping?
According to the tradition documented back then, they jumped specifically to suppress the evil spirits underground. Wow. A direct physical action against disease born from an epidemic over 160 years ago.
It's quite something when you frame it like that.
So here's a thought for you listening. Next time you come across a local festival, maybe on your travels or even in your own neighborhood, pause for a second. Ask yourself, is this just a party? Or could it be, like in Shinozaki, a 160-year-old memory of fighting a deadly epidemic? Are they jumping to keep the ground safe beneath their feet? What forgotten prayers, what acts of resilience might be hidden in your own local traditions?
That's a powerful thought to carry away from our deep dive into Shinozaki today.
Thanks for diving deep with us.